beaders, welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I have another box to open up today with you guys. This is the January 2020 Curated Bead Box, which is regularly $20 a month. I do have a coupon code which makes your first box only $13 shipped if you're in the US, so it's a really good deal if you are getting started with beading or if you use a lot of basic round glass strands. I will flash the coupon code on the screen as well as leave it down below. It is OOJ 35%, OOJ 35%. And like I said, it's a great way to try out your first box because it makes it only $13 shipped. So as you can see, we have a sneak peek here on the label on the box of what is included inside. Every month they have a specific theme and coordinate their strands and some additional items around that. You also have the list of everything that is included as well as these codes off to the side, and that is because their sister site is actually dollarbead.com, and you can plug in these numbers on their website to find more of these particular items if you wanted to order more. And also just the usual note that there could be some slight variation in the contents of the boxes. And inside each box, you will find a finding starter kit. So another reason why I recommend this box in particular for beginning bead stringers. It can be a nice way to get some basics and get started for not a lot of money. So let's go ahead and open up this box and take a closer look at our contents. All right, so here's what we see when we open up the box. We have our tissue paper. And then here's the collection of everything that is inside. All right, so we have 8 strands to look at, which is typical for this box, and these are all glass, they're not plastic. The first one we're gonna look at is a 12mm size bead strand. This is an 8-inch string, and it's called Dusty Pink Crackle Glass. I think this is one of those colors that really does kind of go with that vintage dream theme that they're going with. It's like a light dusty rose. You can see all the crackle detail going on in these chunky beads. They are very translucent, so you can really see all the crackling that's going on in there. That adds a lot of texture if you were to combine these with maybe some other basics or some different finishes. Our next strand is another 12mm bead strand, and this is called Brown Blossom Spray. This is another 8-inch strand, and I have to pick these up a little bit because they are a little bit translucent as well. They do let some of the light pass through. They are a very deep brown with almost a watercolor-like effect on the outside, which leaves spots on the surface of the bead where the light can pass through, and then other spots which look more opaque. And these are another chunky 12mm size. Next up, we have 4 8mm size bead strands to look at. These are all going to be 16-inch long strings, so you get quite a few beads on these strands. A lot to work with. So we have these right here that are called bronze silver leaf style glass beads. The background is an opaque white glass, and you have these splotches of brown going from lighter tan to a more chocolate brown depending on how concentrated the color is. It's kind of dappled on these beads, as well as some silver leaf brushed on as well. You can see the metallic silver in particular on these right here. And while there's a lot going on, it's pretty neutral. I think these would combine with a lot of different things. Compare it with some brighter colors or some basic black, add some more white in. Those are just some ideas off the top of my head. Next up, we have another crackle glass strand. This is in a light turquoise color, it's called. You can see, just like in our first strand that was that light dusty rose pink, that these are also quite clear or transparent. They let a lot of light through, so you get that bold turquoise color, but also are able to see the crackle glass detail that's inside. And by now you can get an idea of the color palette here, the dusty pinks, the aquas, the browns, and each month you'll get a different color scheme. The next strand we have to look at is called Brown Spot Marble. And you can see why these are called that. These are dark brown, but you can see these spotted details if you look closely at the beads, not only where the darker brown background color has kind of pulled away and left these little lighter colored spots, but you also have some of these turquoise spots mixed in, which kind of picks up the turquoise or aqua that we see in a couple of the other strands that are included in the box. So it kind of ties that together. Then next, we're bringing our dusty rose color back with this strand. This is called Dusty Pink Gemstone Style Glass Beads. So these are always really interesting when they send the gemstone style beads that they call them. They're glass, but then inside, there's actually something inside the bead, which gives these a different textural element, sometimes a little bit of a reflective quality that mimics the variations that you see in gemstone beads, how they're all a little bit different. And that's what these are kind of trying to do, just mimic gemstone beads. And then to finish out our strands, we have 2 strands of 6mm size beads, and these are both 16-inch strings also. Our first one here being a turquoise style glass bead is what it's called. So it's trying to imitate the turquoise stone. You can see the beautiful shade of turquoise that it is first of all, and then you see how it has those darker veins that are running through them, which is to give these glass beads the appearance of turquoise. I think it's another pretty glass strand that goes with the theme that they are pulling together. And while these beads are not fancy check glass or high-end style specialty beads, they are definitely usable. It just depends on your purpose, what you do in your beading, what skill level you are. None of these beads have come cracked or damaged. There are lots of different subscriptions out there, and that's why I like to share these, because not every box is right for every person, and we're all at different skill levels, like to use different things, have different budgets, so that's something you have to decide for yourself. And last up for our last 6mm strand, this one is called Rhodonite style glass beads. So just like the one we saw before, this is trying to imitate the gemstone rhodonite. You can see the pink, the grayish tones, the mauve, but it's all in how they have used color and glaze to finish off the outside of the beads to give it that effect, which it really does, especially if you are looking from further away. They look much more stone-like without being right up close on the beads, and different from just your basic glass pearl or glass round that's just a flat color. So that is all of our strands in this box. Now we'll get on to some additional items that they've included. First of all, I'm seeing this bag right here. It says it contains 20mm brown silver foil lampwork glass beads. There's 5 of these in the bag. And here these are in my palm. You can see all 5 of these beads in typical lampwork fashion. They're all going to be a little bit different, typically pretty chunky. The holes may be a little bit irregular. A lot of times you see that metallic foiling inside. In these we have some silver and gold and some more like topaz colored glass inside, especially as you get closer to the hole, and then more of your clear glass around the outside. Then we have this bag. It says it contains 24 by 12mm silver metal cones. There's 2 of those in the bag. And what's cool about these is they're actually pretty flat. So instead of being really large and round, they would sit flatter around your neck. Like, these are great if you are doing a multi-strand style necklace or something and you're able to gather all the different strands up inside and then connect your clasp or chain up here. So I really like these actually. I like the detail on them. And like I said, the fact that they're flat, it's just a little bit different than a lot of the cones that you typically see. Then we have this bag. It says it contains 10 by 6mm silver wound metal spacer beads. There's 5 of those inside the bag, and these actually look like they coordinate really well with those cones. They have that similar spun kind of metal thread or spool-like look to them, and these have larger holes, so you'd actually be able to string these or use these with cord or chain if you wanted to. Always handy to get some extra findings. And then that brings us to our last additional item besides the finding starter kit, and this is a 40 by 26mm silver peacock metal pendant. I really like this pendant. If I were into resin, I might actually utilize these compartments that are inside each of these sections to maybe drop a different color of resin inside, especially in rich greens and blues and purples to give that the look of colorful peacock feathers. Or you could just use it as is. You can see there's some different sections here that are open on the bottom. You could do something interesting with these, drop beads off of that. Really get pretty creative with something like this. Here's a look at the back. So it is not double-sided. It is reasonably thick, and it's one of those pieces that can get you thinking. And I like the inclusion of it in the vintage dream theme. And that brings us to our finding starter kit. You can see that they've coordinated the metal finishes in this box. So everything this time is silver, so you'd be able to use these together. You have some stretch cord, so you have some stringing material. Also, you have some memory wire. You could make a couple different bracelets with the amount they give you here. You have some bead stringing wire. And you have some components to make earrings. Here are some basic fishhook ear wires and a bag of head pins. And then some additional basic stringing materials like your jump rings, some crimp beads, and some lobster clasps. So that is everything for the January 2020 Curated Bead Box in the Vintage Dream theme. I think they always do a great job pulling together a colorful theme each month. And I think if you're really new to bead stringing, or perhaps know somebody who wants to get into it and you'd like to maybe get them a gift or purchase yourself a box to get yourself started, it's a great way to do it, especially with the coupon code to make it $13 shipped. I think that's a great value, especially to try it out if you're not sure. And not only do you get some basic glass beads in coordinating colors, but you also get some bindings, additional pieces to work with, some pendants typically, some stringing material, components to make some earrings, some bracelets, some necklaces. And like I said, all of our needs are different. So hopefully this unboxing was helpful for you to decide if this is the type of box for you. If you are only looking for high quality check glass or Swarovski crystal, this would not be your thing. But that's why it's fun to bring you guys so many different types of boxes, because there really is something for everyone. Like I said, you can use that coupon code OOJ35% to save 35% off your first month. And I will leave that down below, as well as the link you can use to get to their website in order to purchase if you are interested in doing so. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and enjoying another unboxing with me. I'll see you guys real soon. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy beading. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. For more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of my latest videos. You can check out the information section below this video for links to all my social media handles, recommended products, and my shop and blog at orchidandopal.com. Thanks for watching.